Wu-Sabat. How are you, good man?
We're doing our best, Zamar. And how are you?
I'm excellent. This is Myron Moore calling again from Birmingham, Alabama. I last spoke to you about the lightning that occurs in my life.
Right, I remember, yes.
Yes. I had a question for you. This is a quick question I have I wanted you to expound on. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was from the Emerald Tablet in which I believe Thoth spoke of the two evils. One evil is necessary and is a part of our growth in life and development. And the other evil is an actual evil that's meant to distract us and keep us from growth and development by the beings that he, I believe, mentioned that he watched come about in the world or in the universe that made these things occur for their own mischievous outcomes, for lack of better words.
Right.
And it sounded like he was talking about the reptilians. I'm not sure. He didn't really say. I was wondering if you could expound on that.
Sure. What I like to do a lot of times when I convey information is try and simplify it as much as possible. So the way that you can look at that is the master teaches that you have devils or the devil, and then you got devils by conversion. So those are the two devils. So for example, naturally, the Nagaru were not devils in that sense. They've been converted by way of the behavior and being around those devils that you're talking about, which are going back to these reptilian beings and the beings from Arcturus and the Pleiadians, and those are the ones that then came here and mixed their seed with the original Pataites, which were not evil, and then they then created the hybrids, and then you got the Adamites, and those extraterrestrials are, because they have their DNA, is why they manifested on the planet and they cause a lot of the chaos on the planet. So then you have Nagarus who then were converted by way of, if you grow up in a society and in a place where you think that's normal, this is why sometimes beings will have a conscious, so when they do something, they actually feel it, they know it's wrong. And then you have beings that are not converted, that it's in their nature, so they don't have any remorse, no consciousness, they don't even have emotions to the point where they can feel like what they're doing is wrong. So when people say, how can anybody do such a thing? It's because they don't feel the same way as you feel, because there's an absence of soul. So that's the way you can look at the two devils, if you want to use that. Did you want to add anything?
I think also how we stopped, we started believing. There was
right.
quite a time when we knew things, but then obviously when their cycle came into effect, we started believing rather than knowing.
That's
so
right.
Now this is the time now we start going back to the same where we knew things rather than accept things.
Yeah, so we got put into the spell of sleep, spell of ignorance, spell of Kingu, and there are many, many names and different types of versions of it. So today, the devil is not one person, because he has children, offspring, and it can come in any form. This is why we say Leviathan, because Leviathan is dealing with the law of sins. Levi, or the Levitical law, that's what Leviathan, Adhan deals with sin. So that sin is a person known as Nana sin. And this is where, even in the Bible they say you've got two choices. You can choose to go one way, and if you choose to do evil, then sin lies at the door. So you open yourself up to that, starting to do and behave like the devil. So anyone on the planet who is, doesn't matter what their skin suit is if you are converted into a devil, or if you're a devil by nature, then you're gonna do what devils do. So when you start to look at the wars, the chaos, the disharmony, all the bloodshed and all the things that are going on the planet, is by way of these devils that you're talking about, or these draconians and these Pleiadians and these draconian beings and reptilians, all types of species. So Yeah, I hope that's helped you.
Interesting. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
What